Hello, everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, whether you're a product manager, a developer, a designer, a startup founder, or honestly just completely new to the field, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're opening up the ultimate playbook for decoding your product's health. We are going to break down exactly what product analytics is, why it actually matters, and how you can use it to build things that people genuinely want. So grab your notebooks because we are going to cover a ton of ground today. Okay, picture this. Your dashboard is just packed with numbers. You've got page views, sessions, clicks, downloads. I mean, it looks incredibly impressive, right? But here's the real question. Do you actually know if your product is working? The really uncomfortable truth is that most teams just don't. They stare at these massive screens of data, absolutely drowning in numbers, yet they're flying completely blind when it comes to true user behavior. Well, today we're going to fix exactly that. So here is our battle plan. We'll start with what product analytics actually is, we'll dive into the key metrics and the famous AARRR funnel, look at the modern analytics stack, and then wrap up with some really common mistakes you definitely need to avoid. All right, jumping into section 1, what is product analytics? At its core, product analytics is moving way beyond just hoarding data. It's about asking the right questions and actually letting the answers guide your decisions. See, it's not just some passive dashboard sitting on a monitor in the corner of your office. It's a really active, dynamic method for investigating how users interact with your digital product so you can make actual strategic decisions instead of just, guessing. Now, there is a massive difference between vanity metrics and actionable metrics. Vanity metrics, things like raw clicks, page views, total downloads, they look fantastic in a press release. They almost always go up and to the right, which feels great. But honestly, they don't mean a thing if your users are leaving after 5 minutes. Actionable metrics, on the other hand, things like activation, retention, and lifetime value, those dictate true success. These are the actual numbers that tell you how users are experiencing the core value of what you've built. Which brings us nicely to section 2, key product metrics. Okay, let's decode this alphabet soup. First up, activation rate. This is your user's aha moment. It's like when a team finally sends their 2000th message on Slack and realizes they literally can't live without it. Next, DAU over MAU. That's your daily active users divided by monthly active users. That measures your core engagement, basically how sticky your app actually is. Moving down the list, retention is the holy grail. Do people keep coming back over time? Conversely, churn is the disease you absolutely need to cure. It's the percentage of users who cancel or leave entirely. Then we've got NPS, which tracks overall customer sentiment and satisfaction. And finally, we balance LTV, the lifetime value of a customer, against your CAC, the customer acquisition cost. Because think about it. If it costs you $50 to acquire a user on Facebook, but they only spend $10 in your app over their entire lifetime, yeah, your product is in serious trouble. Remember this core idea. Product analytics isn't about collecting data. It's about asking the right questions and letting the answers guide your decisions. It is so easy to get totally lost in all the shiny tools, but your primary job is to be a detective. The data, that's just the evidence. You still have to solve the case. All right, section 3, the AARRR funnel. Now, this is famously known as the AARRR funnel, or affectionately pirate metrics. It beautifully maps out the entire life cycle of a customer from start to finish. Step 1 is acquisition. How do users actually find you in the first place? Step 2 is activation. Do they have a great first experience and hit that critical aha moment? Step 3 is retention. Do they come back? Step 4 is referral. Do they love it enough to tell their friends about it? And finally, step 5 is revenue. How do you actually make money from all this user behavior? By mapping your data to these 5 distinct steps, you can instantly see exactly where your bucket is leaking. I mean, are people downloading the app but never activating? Or are they activating but then churning after just a week? This funnel gives you the exact context you need to diagnose the problem. Let's move on to section 4, the modern analytics stack. Listen, before you even open a dashboard, your engineering and design teams have got to set up the underlying tracking infrastructure, and it really comes down to 3 foundational steps. First, identify key events. An event is just an action a user takes, like clicked sign up, played video, or completed purchase. Second, define properties. Properties give vital context to that event. So if the event is completed purchase, the properties might be the price of the item, the category, or the user's location. Third, build funnels. You string all those events together to see the exact conversion rates from step to step. If you don't get this tracking right from the jump, your data is literally just going to be noise. So to actually execute this tracking, you're going to need the right tools. And you've got some absolute powerhouses here. You have Mixpanel and Amplitude for deep behavioral tracking, really complex product analytics and retention insights. Then there's Google Analytics, which remains incredibly dominant for that top-of-funnel web traffic and acquisition data. You also have tools like Heap, which takes a really unique approach by auto-capturing all user interactions right out of the box, and PostHog, which gives you this awesome, open-source, all-in-one platform vibe. Now, you absolutely don't need all of these, but you do need to pick the tool that best fits your specific tracking needs.
And that brings us to Section 5, Common Mistakes. There are 3 massive pitfalls that constantly kill product teams. First up, tracking absolutely everything. I know, it is so incredibly tempting to instrument every single button click, hover, and scroll, but don't do it. Tracking everything just creates massive noise. It completely buries the actual signal, and it leads directly to our third bullet point, analysis paralysis. If you have 500 custom events, nobody is going to know what actually matters. The second mistake is ignoring the context. Data will tell you what a user did, for sure, but it very rarely tells you why they did it. If you see this massive drop-off on a checkout page, your analytics tool isn't going to tell you that a weird UI bug was hiding the submit button on mobile devices. You still have to put in the qualitative work, talk to your users, and understand the real human context behind those numbers.
To bring this all home, it is not about collecting data. Period. It is entirely about making decisions. As a product builder, your ultimate goal is to ship value to your users. Product analytics is simply the most powerful flashlight you have to navigate the dark and ensure you are actually walking in the right direction. Use it to measure what matters, cut through the noise, and build products that truly work. And that wraps up our complete guide. But before you go, I want to turn this over to you. What is the single most actionable metric you rely on for your product right now? Is it retention? Is it activation? Or maybe something entirely unique to your specific business? Drop down to the comments and let me know. I read every single one. And hey, if you found this breakdown helpful for understanding the mechanics of product analytics, be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on our next deep dive. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.